All right, so you want to know how to start your podcast. So here are the basic things that you need to do. First of all, you have to have something to talk about. You need to make an outline. Make an outline on what you want to talk about and have talking points. You don't have to make it memorized. You don't have to make it be super flawless. The good thing about a podcast is podcasts are meant to be raw. Podcasts are meant to be uncut, unfiltered. So if you want to be more authentic, don't edit so much. Don't make it seem like this is scripted. Talk from your heart about a subject that you're passionate about. Or if you're doing interviews, make it seem like you and the person you're interviewing are having just a candid conversation. So now that you have your outline, now that you have your topic, now that you know what you're going to talk about, you need to invest in some equipment. Now, it depends on which type of podcast you want to do. Are you doing a video podcast or are you doing audio only? That can depend on what type of equipment you need. Now, the advantage of doing a video podcast is if you do video, you can also extract the audio to put it as audio only. So you can also use those video clips for social media, even if you have an audio only podcast. But the best thing, the most important thing, is good quality audio. Nobody is going to listen to your podcast if they cannot clearly understand what you are saying. Currently, I'm using a lapel mic. This is the Hollyland Lark M1, and I'm recording on my camera, my Canon R10. You don't need to get a professional camera. It can also record right here on my iPhone. Now, the Hollyland Lark M1 is a wireless lapel mic, and it costs roughly $200. Now, if that's outside of your budget, I have right here a Moeno. This is a podcast mic that cost me $50, and I love it. I will I'll post a sample of what it sounds like right here.
What's up, everyone? This is Kenya. I am the creator of all things Loop. And if you did not know, Loop stands for Live It, Own It, Obtain It on Purpose.
If you don't like the style of the actual podcast mic right in front of you, I also have, sorry, I also have a boom mic that's off to the side, off camera. I'll post a clip of what the boom mic sounds like so you can hear that as well.
Hi, my name is Demonica Jones, and I am the executive director of Lenskip Incorporated.
And this isn't even an expensive one. This is a cheap boom mic. This one costs about $30 and it does the job. Podcasts, you don't need to have the most expensive equipment. So now that we have audio, you need to talk about what you're actually going to record on. So some people record on StreamYard. I am an advocate for StreamYard. This is not sponsored by them, but StreamYard has the ability to take your video and audio and separate them. And if you have a guest, because StreamYard is great for virtual interviews, it can record each of your audios locally. StreamYard also can live stream if you want your podcast to be live. So I suggest StreamYard. Please do not do your podcast on Zoom. I am strongly against Zoom. Zoom is great for meetings, but don't record your podcast on Zoom. The video quality and audio quality on Zoom is subpar compared to something as StreamYard or Restream. Anyway, what are you going to edit on? You can edit on Adobe Premiere if you're doing video, or you can edit on Adobe Audition if you're doing straight audio. But the Adobe Creative Suite can be kind of costly. So if you want a cost-effective option, download Power Director. Power Director is from Cyberlink, and it is definitely worth it. You can do almost everything you can on Adobe, but again, if you're not a professional level podcaster, you don't need professional level things. So Power Director is a great option. And just like Adobe, there's Power Director for video, and you can export your audio into Audio Director where you can edit it over there separately and then put it back onto the video if you so choose. So now that you have your outline, your topic, you have your audio, you know what you're recording on, you know what you're talking about, that's all you need to start your podcast. The final thing is how are you going to get your podcast to the people? So There was an app called Anchor, but it was bought out by Spotify. So now it's called Podcasters by Spotify. This, if you upload to that app, it will post your podcast to the different platforms. It will go on Google Podcasts, it will go on Apple Podcasts, and various other platforms. So I say that is the best place to start with your podcast. Again, it's Podcasters by Spotify. And then, of course, YouTube. YouTube is always a viable option. Everybody's going to look at YouTube. For those of you that have a video podcast, YouTube is definitely going to be your best bet, unless you want to go the third option, which is to have your own website. But honestly, it's up to you, and it depends on what you want and what type of audience you want. Simple as that. Starting a podcast is super easy. You don't have to have the most professional equipment to get started. You just need to grab a mic and have something to talk about. And then, go from there. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk.